Good afternoon, David Atkins, targeted individual, back with another video by the grace of God. And today I'm going to this is some food for thought, and I'm going to briefly touch on the subject of a program called T.A.M.I, and it's called Thought Amplified Mind Interface. And it's from Robert Duncan's book, The Matrix Deciphered. And it's just, it's a quick thing. And I mean, it's not going to take long, but it's very informative and it's very food for thought and make you question stuff. Also, I'm going to research T.A.M.I even further and get deeper information. But before I go into this, like I always do, I'm going to go into a little biblical devotion, which is not going to take maybe 2 minutes. So if you're not a believer and you don't want to hear this, I understand. So just scroll on past it, fast forward past it, and you'll get right to the information part. All right, today I'm just going to read Psalms 109 is a very deep Psalms, and I encourage every believer to read it, especially targeted believer, because it was David's plea for judgment from false accusers and people doing him wrong. And if you know anything about David, David wrote the Psalms while he was on the run from Saul and other people that were trying to kill him. And David, actually, 1 Samuel 21 through 24, that's 4 chapters. He was on the run for his life, and he was expressing his emotions to God and everything in these Psalms. And that's why the Psalms are so powerful, because they're mostly protection prayers, and they're also prayers of him pouring his heart out to God. But there's one prayer where David asked God, prayed a curse upon these people who were falsely accusing him and hunting him down. He prayed a curse upon them, and it's Psalms 109. So I'm just going to read like verse 1 through 5, just real quick, just to give you an idea of it, and y'all can read the rest, because there's 31 verses in this. All right, it says, "Do not keep silent, O God of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful have opened up against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They have also surrounded me with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. In return for my love, they are my accusers. But I give myself to prayer. Thus they have rewarded me evil for good, and hatred for my love. Set a wicked man over him, and let an accuser stand at his right hand. When he is judged, let him be found guilty, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow." This is David. This is the Bible now. So, I say y'all need to start praying this prayer over these gang stalkers about this program. When you start getting your feelings and need help from God, start praying Psalms 109. That's what David did. So people say, oh, David didn't. It's right here, Psalms 109. So anyway, I'm going to get into this information about T.A.M.I. And T.A.M.I is the thought amplified and mind interplace. And all this is Robert Duncan's thoughts, and he's breaking this, trying to get people to wake up, and he puts this in terms in this little paragraph right here that is excellent in my opinion. So it says, and T.A.M.I is a program that can automatically keep track of people's proximity to each other and determine whether a conversation is occurring from the back and forth verbal exchange pattern. All right, so here. It's called The Hypocrisy Overthrew Democracy, but took its name. The secret surrounding this project, T.A.M.I, or like I said, Thought Amplifier and Mind Interface, is incredible. Clearly, the public would be outraged if it knew Americans by the thousands were being tortured and killed for development of military and CIA weapons, and that their brains are being spied into on occasion, not to mention that a thought reader, Echelon-like project was well underway to automate the whole process. A clear violation of constitutional rights in every case. But that is the way that this stuff runs. It's always conducted itself since World War II. Project Paperclip was smuggled in hundreds of Nazi scientists. It usually takes about 20 years before the documents are released under the Freedom of Information Acts. If there are any survivors, the current president apologizes to them. This is just the pattern in a way our people lie without any punishment to them or justice to the victims. Just remember, America was torturing thousands of people when it said it had to go into Iraq to save the people from torture by Saddam. Remember that when Bush went to China to ask them to be nicer to their people, the shadow government was busy torturing thousands in Iraq and thousands in the U.S. and a few hundred in other countries with psychotronics. Then after we went to Iraq, we tortured, killed lots of Iraqis, all in the name of democracy and freedom. Sad how easily people forget. After having experienced the potential of this weapon to be used to torture entire populations without end, I assure you, I'd rather die in a nuclear blast than endure pain without relief or death for years. And this is Robert Duncan talking. The U.S. will not sign the UN ban on mind control weapons nor other international treaties. Russia even proposed the ban. If the U.S. does not have these weapons, then why not sign the treaties? Who is the real threat to the world? Who has more weapons of mass destruction than any other nation? And we somehow justify invading other countries out of fear they have them. It's pretty easy to see the shell game. Is fear of pain worse than pain? Do people fear death because they fear the pain involved with death? Then making the public obsessed with terrorism while torturing thousands of its own people with pain weapons seems like the worst thing any government could do to its own citizens. Walking them to gas chambers, like the Nazis did, would be more humane. To try and get a grasp of how far behind civilian researchers are, this is Robert Duncan talking, I contacted many top neurosciences and academia and microwave communication experts around the country. Less than a handful were even aware of Dr. Lin's work at the University of Illinois and the very well known abroad and published by the World Health Organization microwave hearing effect. Russian scientists coming to this country have commented on our population's ignorance of bioelectromagnetic non-thermal interactions. How could such important medical research be suppressed? It is a combination of the power of DoD funding and systematic suppression of knowledge by other organizations. And he goes on to state, another one of my heroes, a futurist and famous entrepreneur, Kurzweil, wrote a book called The Age of Spiritual Machines, which I thought to be an insightful look into one possible future. However, most people have not taken into account the political threads and EEG heterodyning mind control technology when prophesizing this future. Rather than building costly robots and giving them consciousness, we are trending towards creating human robots and removing the souls of men. It's an unfortunate turn for the worse in terms of an interesting future of technological innovations and their meaning for free-thinking humans. And this is going on every day. So I hope somebody that ain't a target is watching this and heard this, because even if you ain't a target, this makes sense. What I just read makes sense. And if it don't make sense, slow it down, listen to it again. And here's a key point right here. I'm going to say this. Okay. Well, I don't know if I can go there, and I know y'all don't like long videos. So, the U.S. will not even sign the UN ban on mind control weapons, nor other international treaties. Russia even proposed the ban. If the U.S. doesn't have these weapons, then why not sign the treaties? And somehow we justify other countries out of fear they have them. It's pretty easy to see the shell game. Wake up, y'all. That's food for thought. I'm done with this video. Y'all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. God bless.